First story, President Akufo-Addo is asking organized labor to reconsider its planned strike. The president says he's committed to addressing issues regarding illegal mining, which organized labor is fighting. The president met union leaders who are demanding a decisive action against illegal mining. And we want to get a bit details on this and put the issue in perspective. Joining us for a conversation is Dr. Mumin Abdul Wadud. He's Senior Lecturer, School of Mines and Belt Environment, University of Energy and Natural Resources. Doc, thank you so much for your time. To start with, what do you make of the president's assessment or assertion on the intended strike of organized labor?
Thank you very much for having me this morning, and good morning to your audience and the viewers and listeners. First of all, permit me to take this opportunity to join the calls on the wholesome ban of mining in Ghana. Let me plead with the general public and particularly the organized labor that a complete ban on mining will not actually be healthy for the economy of the country. Take, for instance, large-scale mining companies who are always constantly...
Doc, we are not asking for a complete ban on all mining. It's just small-scale mining and Galamsey.
I have also called for that. I even said that we should suspend all forms of small-scale mining, including exploration activities. Mind you that some of the Galamsey activities actually go under cover of exploration to do that. Now, back to context. The president's appeal for more time, that is highly administrative, and we wouldn't expect the president to say the trade union Congress, please go ahead and have your strike next week. We wouldn't also expect the president to say that I'm not going to address any of your concerns or issues. Probably he's still thinking through, but my concern is way back in 2020, 2021, the president says that he puts his presidency on the line. And this is about 4 years ago. It has been enough time for the president to actually have taken action, and he hasn't taken. The labor unions have also given a period of time. Indeed, I can also even infer that the labor union are still buying time to allow space for the president to take action. From today, even up to next week, it's still enough time for the president to take action. Mind you that we are actually in a critical moment. We're actually in a critical situation where nobody needs to we need to expedite actions. We don't have room for anything.
Right.
Unfortunately, if the strike comes up, it's actually going to be a serious dent on the government and particularly on the president's reign as a president. But at this point, we just have to compromise. Everybody has to compromise. The president has to compromise certain things, and the labor union would also have to compromise certain things. Because the mining sector...
Doc, hold for me. Let me usher in the Executive Secretary of the National Labour Commission into the conversation. Mr. Fusua Samwa is blaming metropolitan, municipal and district chief executives as well as traditional leaders for the surge in illegal mining. And he has been speaking with MFA Deti.
I fail to blame. Everybody says politicians. I'm a politician myself sitting here. I don't mind. You understand? And sitting here, I don't have the power to do it. But look, when it comes to the mining, where is it done? It's done in the villages, our own backyards, right? The chiefs, if you are the chief of a village, like this room, and the excavators are coming there, and people are mining this champagne and so on, don't they see it? Let's come to the district chief executives. I know that some drones were imported into this country. Is that right? And given to the various district assemblies. And with the drone pilot can tell what is going on anywhere. Is that all right? Are they seeing? Are they not the head of security in that area? What are they doing? So in the areas where Galamsey is going on, what have the chiefs done? What have the district chief executives who are supposed to be the head of security in those areas, who have the power to use the police because they are the head of security in that area, they have the drones. And in every district, there's a BNI officer, now called NIB. Right? What investigation have they been doing? National Investigation Bureau. They should be knowing things of national concern. What report have they been sending? The district chief executive as head of security. What are they using the security for? And the so-called the youth groups. You come, this youth association, Concerned Citizens Association, the local council of churches. You are in Ghana, we are very religious. You are either a Muslim or this. What do? All those chiefs, the religious leaders, the assembly members, the district chief executive, and everybody sits here and say, the president, how can the president has appointed people to work?
Well, Dr. Mumin, so that there is the Executive Secretary of the National Labour Commission, Ofosu Asamoah, and he's blaming everybody else for the menace that Galamsey is causing. What's your response to this?
So, Paul, my initial reaction is that, do you recall your own colleague, Eratus Asaridoko, a couple of years ago, went to one of these forest sites with security, protection, and a whole lot of other colleague journalists to cover illegal mining activities? What happened? Right at the spot, another troop of security came and disarmed the security that Erasmus went with. And what was their mission? That they had been actually deployed from the top because they got intelligence that Erasmus and security had gone to actually sack people out of illegal mining sites in forest areas. So, devolution of power. Whatever it is, the ultimate is the presidency, right? The ultimate is government. And this, whatever he says is even actually re-emphasizing the general call of the public that we need to actually have district level elections to elect district chief executives so that they don't answer to the president, they answer to their people. The district chief executive needs to protect his job. So if the minister or the sector minister or the president or anybody from the presidency gives a directive, the regional security officer has no other choice than to adhere to comply, right? So the case of Erasmus is a typical example where they were actually bombarded by another troop and then they were disarmed and the people were freed. So it's also, don't forget that the chiefs own the land. Local people own the land. But the rule, the law of Ghana is that the mineral beneath the land belong to the people vested in the president in trust. Is that not the case? So if there is anything out of mineral resource extraction, in fact, government should be the first to have interest, and the president must be the primus inter pares in this call and in this interest. So it has to do with natural resource extraction, illegal or whatever it is. Indeed, the state can take compulsory acquisition. Again, the state can also take compulsory deployment for protection and safeguarding our resources.
All right.
So for whatever these faults are, I don't think they actually agree even with our constitution and the laws of Ghana.
Okay, so fortunately, we've been joined by Fred Oduro Ejako, and he's a local government analyst. Mr. Oduro, thank you for joining the conversation. Now, the Executive Secretary of NLC is blaming local government, so to speak. What's your reaction to this?
Well, I agree to an extent, because I think if the Galamsey is occurring within territories of various MMDA, it presupposes that the chief executives, who are also heads of the diocese, they have a critical role to play. But it will be simplistic to just blame chief executives, although I will not take them out of the group of people we should blame for the continuation of the menace.
We know that you are actually joining us now from a Galamsey town. What have you seen on the ground?
It is terrible. I mean, it's bordering on hopelessness. Because if you talk to the people, they believe this is the best that happened to them. They do not see the glaring menace right in front of them. And please, let me indicate that I've not had to go into any bushes to see what is happening. The road leading to the town, you see it by the roadside. You see it from your hotel room. You see it from everywhere around you. It is not something hidden. So it's not something that is happening in only deep forest, that we say, oh, it is happening in deep forest and nobody is seeing. We are just seeing the effect in our water bodies and the like. It's happening around Hope. That is how terrible the situation is.
There's a school of thought that at least now we've had the president engaging organized labor, and it's the first time he's been vocal about the, in response to the concerns raised by Ghanaians, CSOs, Medical Association, Ghana Water Company Limited about the devastating effects of Galamsey. Should we be celebrating or should we be hailing the president that for the first time now, he's actually engaged organized labor and asking for them to not proceed with their intended strike?
I'm very happy organized labor is up in arms in this. And I believe that as much pressure that can be brought on those responsible should happen. But then I am also asking myself, can we also say our public servants and even some of us civil servants are not complicit in the problem? Because who has been giving out some of these concessions?
Yeah.
Who is giving the task to even monitor what is happening around us? So in as much as it's good that broad section of our organized labor is coming up to take on government particularly, which has got the first responsibility to protect us all. But then we should also criticize key public officials who have failed woefully in this bad enterprise that is affecting the whole society. So as much as I will put a bigger blame on government, on politicians, on our chiefs, our community leaders, even community members, I think civil servants and public servants have also failed us as a country. And they should all bow their heads and say, they believe that because they are anonymous, most of us don't know them. Right. But they sit in their district offices, they sit in their regional offices, they sit in Accra and give us concessions to people to destroy our environment. It's not just the water body. The water body is what is manifesting to us in Accra and other places. But even the land that we are destroying, the farmland, the settlement areas that we are destroying. Recently, we've heard a story of somebody who has just gone to ease herself and found herself dead in a
all right. Thank you. That's all that time will allow us for, Mr. Odru. Thank you so much for joining us. And I want to wrap with Dr. Mumin Abdul-Wadu. Doc, you have the final word. But the same question, really. This step that the president has taken in engaging organized labor to back down on the intended strike, is it a step in the right direction?
Yes, it is, of course. That means that the president is ready to also make commitments to them. And the president is an experienced politician. He doesn't just have to come to the gallery and declare his intentions without engaging the people who have made concerns, who have raised serious concerns. So he has to engage them. It is a process, a democratic process towards resolving differences. So I agree with the president, but it does still hold that he needs to address the concerns of the organized labor. And I urge the president to be bold and go ahead to save the nation and protect our resources and our lives.
That day is Dr. Mumin Abdul-Wadu, and he is a senior lecturer, School of Mines and Built Environment at the University of Energy and Natural Resources. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.